Before you do anything, do you want to explain to the people what we did last night?
Yo, I just took this off and look. Yeah, maybe it wasn't sitting properly.
That's just a sealer gasket.
I know, but it was just like this.
Okay, so plug that in quickly.
I was gonna test it without it plugged in.
Okay, do you want to explain to them what we did yesterday?
We didn't really do much.
Yeah, but just so they know.
We took the MAF out, cleaned it, see if it'd fix it. Still did the same thing. Unplugged the MAF sensor, went into limp mode. Robbie thinks it's the MAF. I'm not doubting him. It could be the MAF. But we also haven't done all the tests yet. We've only done a few. But we're gonna do everything else to make sure that's a 100% the MAF, so we can see you later, beat the guy up.
Go back to his house and get our money back. Yesterday when we unplugged the MAF, it ran like Emerson said, and then we tried to clean it just with some sensor clean, and that didn't fix it. So what we're gonna do now is every other possible test, and if everything works and the only thing it leads back to is the MAF, then we need to get a new MAF. So today we're just doing a bunch of tests. We're gonna try and get this thing running, and then we want to take it for a quick street test if we actually get it running. A lot of you guys commented too when we were using butt connectors to connect like the MAF wiring to the actual harness that you actually lose some power in those butt connectors. So we're trying to do it like this so that they're actually like hardwired together as if they're one solid thing. Just for testing, obviously once we test it, if it works, we'll solder it, but we want to just make sure it's working before we solder it together, and then we have to cut the solders and stuff because it still doesn't work. So this is test one with just the throttle position sensor unplugged to, again, rule out. We're trying to rule out if it's, maybe when Emerson took it apart and cleaned it, he put it back together wrong. It's climbing. Still climbing. Yeah, plug it back in and then we'll see. That might have just been revving itself right up because it wasn't plugged in, right? Okay. So it couldn't find the throttle position and it was just like, ah! Oh yeah, there she goes. Yeah, dude, when you unplug that, it climbs. Yeah, so the throttle position sensor's caked. Now, it's not 100% at the MAF. Yeah. So let's adjust that. The MAF and like the throttle position sensor, all these things kind of work together, right? So if the throttle position sensor is wrong, then the MAF is not going to be able to do its job properly. So where is the throttle position sensor? I don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah. When it's closed, and then it should be at 0, and then when you slightly open it, the thing should climb up, higher voltage when you open it, right?
Okay, dude, here, got some fresh batteries for you. I don't know what.
I don't really.
You read the internet, not me.
This one down here won't give you anything.
Because right here it says there's black, white, and red. So red's probably your 12. The white's probably sitting on the other one's ground.
So I'm opening it fully and it's going to like 6.
Open it like, wait, let it drop first? So it's 2, so it's probably, it's out. And then if you open it?
It goes to 5. And then it goes back to 2. So the fact that it's resting at 2 might mean it's
probably out.
So how do you set it?
So so you have to undo it so it's loose.
Yeah.
And then you go counterclockwise and then you go forward till you reach 0 and then 1 degree more.
As long as you understand.
I know, yeah.
Just tell me what you want me to do because I don't really know what you're saying. So you got to spin it all the way to the back and then spin it forwards till it goes to 0?
Yeah.
I have 0.1. I have 1.
I go counterclockwise?
I have 3. So basically you wanted to push the sensor as far backwards as you can counterclockwise till this reads 0, but we couldn't get this to read 0. We could only get it to read 1.
Which is closer than
closer than what which is closer than what it was reading before. So we're going to try it at 1 and see if that works.
Yo, this hose clamp?
Yeah.
The throttle body's not actually closed all the way. It's slightly open.
Maybe that's why it's idling so high. You open the throttle body, you guys can see how that little lever right there comes down in the back. It's actually hitting this hose clamp that we put on.
It's not resting on the
So it's not resting all the way down. I'm gonna try and read that again with the multimeter. So we can see, you guys can tell, we just rotated this up to the top so that it's not interfering anymore. This for last night to try and muffle it, but it's just making the whole garage stank. Get out of my garage! Imagine that, the only problem is a hose clamp was in the wrong orientation.
Because the throttle was stuck open.
Yeah, that's gotta be fixed, because it would have dropped by now. Oh yeah, it's going down, dude, that's good. We fixed it. We're good. Sounds exactly the same as it used to, dude. It's literally sounds exactly the same. Don't get too aggressive now, boy. Just let's go for just a light drive. Because we want to drive it around to make sure shit doesn't start popping off. Otherwise, when we get to the dyno, we gotta pay for dyno time to just fix problems we could have fixed. You gotta look under and line those holes up and just thread them in like. It doesn't have to go thread too much, just like. Its idle, which is good. First test pass that we were most worried about was it actually catching its idle. So when we rev it up and then drop off, it actually holds an idle, which was like a secondary mass airflow sensor kind of test. It does feel quicker though, just like a little rev. Oh shit! Dude, what the fuck? We're not revving it over like 4,000. Like we're just abusing it. We're just trying to make sure that when you rev it up and down, like everything works properly. It's off like the little 4,000 RPM, and it flutters pretty nice. Little 4,000 RPM pull that Emerson did, you can feel it. Yeah, it digs a lot harder than it used to. It's a lot more torquey. Dude, you feel that so much. It won't be crazy because we're not revving it that high, but like, I just want you guys to hear this. It sounds pretty good. Dude, I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. Whoa, no, you kept going. Wait! Dude, this thing's gonna be a weapon. This thing's gonna be so fast.
It's like even at like 3, you got that instant torque.
You do.
Like it just gut.
This thing has torque a lot lower than the Civic does. What I was gonna say to you though is like your exhaust note is relatively the same. Like if you were to drive by with or without this turbo, I would pin you at the exact same exhaust note. But when you flutter from outside of the car, it's loud. It's really loud. Yeah, I'll try and replay the footage for you. We don't even have any gauges. We don't even know how much boost this wastegate is set to. We don't know anything. Our gauges should be here Monday or Tuesday, which is sick, but we don't know anything right now. Yeah, now that we got it driving, you're probably getting the rest of the air out, so we should probably bleed it one more time. Yeah. That's pretty much all we're gonna have for you guys today. I know today's video was probably short, but I didn't want to not include you guys in the first drive of the 240 since it's been boosted. I hope you guys are stoked. It's gonna be a little bit of a delay, like I said. Now we're just waiting on fuel pressure regulator to get here so that we can install that and then get a dyno day set up. So we're really close. I just don't know how long it's gonna take to get here. So that's it. We're gonna go solder those wires and bleed the system, and we're gonna call it a day. I will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay committed.